morning, everybody. We have made it to March the 8th and Module 3. And so I wanted to take a few minutes and look at this module with you. You will find that the first 3 assignments for the module are very similar to what we've done before, but the third or the fourth assignment will be different. And so I have currently pulled up and I'm sharing with you my screen, the student view of your Canvas shell. And so I'm going to go to module 3 like I would do in my shell by selecting modules. And I'm going to scoot on down here. Module 3 is where we are. And you will notice we have the introduction, which you will find in the announcements section. You will do a reflection video or podcast having to do with appropriate assessments, culturally responsible or responsive, also developmentally appropriate assessments that will support instructional improvement, leadership, equity, and student learning. And so we're looking at assessment in a completely different way than we might normally in the classroom. We're looking for a lack of bias. We're looking for appropriate assessment for the students, the specific students that we are teaching. And also we want those assessments to give us some feedback on to the leadership about improving our instruction, making sure that we're providing equity and to our students, and student learning is being promoted. And so that's our focus in this module. Once you have discussed those topics, just from your fresh to the idea point of view, or your current point of view, I should say, because it's probably not a fresh idea for all of you, but just where are you today? Then you will do your literature review, look at the literature that's offered to you, and you will write your critical analysis, and then you will write your discussion post. And I have been so tickled with how many of you are going back in and commenting on several of the discussion posts and having a conversation. I'm sure as educators, you all are aware that the discussion post is our attempt with these asynchronous courses to provide you all with some conversation, some discussion, some back and forth, some networking, an opportunity to get to know one another a little bit and to learn about the different districts. Of those of you that are in this course, the one person that I am aware of who sees a lot of different districts is your fellow classmate, Amy Youngblood. She has an educational consulting business, and so she's in a lot of different districts. But most of us are in maybe, I don't know, 3-4 districts during our career. And so what the view that we get of what's going on in schools is rather limited. Of course, we have friends across the state and possibly around the world who can tell us about what their district's like, but to actually be there and to be able to sort of put ourselves in that position when we're thinking about specific topics like we are in this class, it can be difficult if we've never taught in a district that's like that. So it's always interesting to me to see the similarities and the differences in people's thoughts in the discussion posts. And so of course, part of your score on the discussion post is that you have commented on at least one of your fellow classmates' comments or discussions. But I just hope that you take the time to read through those. I know it can be hard to get back to that, but maybe when you upload, your reflective reflection and review of literature, or in this case, it's going to be a different type of assignment. But when you upload that last assignment, go back and take a look and place some discussion or some comments in on discussions. I do go back and look at those, and I will await your comment on each discussion post before I put your score in until we come to the end of the semester. And if at that point, if they're not there, I will just grade accordingly on those that are left to be scored. So that brings us to the final assessment or the final assignment for Module 3, which is the culturally responsive lesson or assessment redesign. So obviously this is not reflection and literature review. This is going to be a different type of assignment. So for those of you who love writing lit reviews, this is going to be something different. You get to stretch your muscles a little bit and try something different as an assignment. For those of you who doing the literature reviews not your very favorite thing, you may enjoy having something a little bit different. Our curriculum designers did want to provide some different approaches to the lessons for you. So I'm going to open this up so we can take a look at the assignment and what it asks you to do. Using current research, propose a redesign to increase the quality of culturally responsive and accessible teaching and learning practice within your current school district. Submit the original and revised culturally responsive practice, whether it's a lesson or an assessment. Make sure to include a rubric you would use to accompany the lesson or assessment. So here, what you're being asked to do is to select a lesson or an assessment that's currently being used in your school district. For some of you, you're teaching and you're preparing lessons and assessments, and it can be one of your own that you can revise. If there's one that you've been thinking that you'd like to do some revision for, I always think of this as this is your excuse or permission to spend time, take time out to do that, because it will also be satisfying this assignment for your class. For others of you, you may not be in the classroom, you may not be preparing lessons or assessments currently. So you might ask a teacher if they have something that they would like to have revised in this way, or if maybe you're an evaluator for a teacher that you think it might be beneficial even to work together on this and have a discussion about it. Or, you know, just however you want to work this out. I would always try to make it something that not only will benefit you by completing the assessment for class or the assignment for class, but also would benefit your school district or your work situation in some way. So you will need to pick something that you currently have. You will submit the current lesson plan or assessment as it is when you retrieve it. And then you will also submit the revised portion. And for me, it's always helpful if you somehow indicate the pieces that you have changed so that it will be more culturally responsive, or it will be more accessible to learners as a lesson or assessment. What was your intent? Let me know that. And you can do that simply by highlighting the section that you are going to revise on the original document, and then highlighting the revised portion on the revised document. If you're revising several different pieces for different reasons, you might color code your highlights so I know which ones are supposed to match up. With the revision of the document itself, the instrument itself, you will also probably need to be revising the rubric for it. If you choose a lesson or assessment that there is no existing rubric, you can just tell me there was no existing rubric, and then develop one that you can put with it. So this is different. It's you're not going to spend loads of time reading other documents and processing the lit review and all of that type of thing. You're going to retrieve that first document. You may need to, if it's not in Word document form or something, you may need to scan it and make it a PDF to upload. I would like for your revised version to be a Word document so that I can make comments on the document itself, because that's just a nice, I think it's a nice way for us to be able to communicate about the document. And the editing tools and comment tools in Word are, I think they're a lot cleaner to use than the one that is built into Canvas. So if you would do that, I would appreciate that. Down below, you will see that your criteria or your rubric for this assignment is that the original assignment or lesson is submitted, as well as the redesigned lesson or assessment, and an accompanying rubric has been sent. The lesson or assessment is redesigned to increase the quality of culturally responsive practice, and I would add accessibility. So we can think of culture. Sometimes I think we limit our thinking of culturally in some ways, but let's think about this accessibility for all students. That we want to make it more accessible. So it's the full score would be 50 points. That's full evidence of meeting the criteria. Partial evidence is 35. No evidence is a 0. And so that will give you an idea of what we're going to be doing. While we're discussing this, just to give you a heads up, because our semester will be rapidly coming to a close, this is due on March the 28th. I'm going to go back into modules and just briefly look at module 4 with you. On module 4, one of the things that you will notice is that you have a Folio Tech upload to do at the end of the module. And some of you will have done this process before, some of you may not have. When you get ready to do the Folio Tech upload, you will want to come back up here to this little section that says Folio Tech, click on it, and you will go in and follow the directions. Mine gives this kind of a notice. Yours will have information related to your account through Lindenwood. Because you are a student, you will have information here. This is a sign that I get because this is what they call a test student. This is sort of like my sandbox inside a Canvas shell. So yours will look a little bit different, but it will give you the directions on how to upload to Folio Tech. It's not difficult, but you will upload your final assignment there. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking in the background. In this one, you'll notice you'll have another video. There is an authentication survey that will take you maybe 3 minutes to read and complete for the class. You'll do a reflection video or podcast. You will have a discussion post about technology, student services, instructional resources, curriculum instruction, all of these topics that you will discuss. You will have an assignment to interview a technology coordinator. So this is something you will want to think about. This is due April 11th. Make sure that you have time to do that. When you do that, we can look at this assignment real quickly. You will actually do a recording. So if it's over the phone, you may use a phone recording device. You may do a Zoom session and record it and upload it, however you want to do that. But it will be an actual live interview. And you will ask some questions about their role with instructional program leadership as a district tech coordinator. So that will be one of the assignments that you have that's a little bit different. And then you will also have an assignment, and this is a key assessment. This is a culminating assessment for the course. You will redesign one level or one content area, scope and sequence within your district by applying the components from the course. high quality curriculum, tech integration, culturally responsive, program evaluation. Make sure to include the original scope and sequence and the revision. So again, you're going to be doing both of those things. And they give you a notice here that in addition to submitting it in Canvas, you will also submit it in Folio-Tech. And it is due to be submitted no later than April 18th. That means in both places. So you'll need to be sure that you submit it to Canvas and to Folio-Tech by the 18th of April. This one, we can't take it as a late assignment. It is worth 110 points. And part of the reason I wanted you to know this is one of those things that can be something that we don't dig into all the time. Folks sometimes have questions. Some of you, again, are not in a classroom, so you don't have this available to you just on a daily basis. It's not something that you're looking at. It is available to you, of course, but you may have to do a little bit of asking, questioning. You may even want to consider what would be a level that I want to think about revising, especially if you're not currently teaching. You may want to pick an area that you think you would like to have a look at and see what needs to be worked on. I recommend that you carefully review the scoring guide here, the rubric, as you think about what you want to review and revise. And this may be when it says one content area or one level, just choose a scope and sequence, just a section that needs revision, either from a course or from a grade level, a content area and a grade level. So you can think of it from that perspective. So I did want you to be thinking about it a little bit ahead of time, because if you wait to look at this until the week before, you may feel really under pressure to get it done. So let's go back to our modules. And I would recommend that you take a look over the next few weeks, because we really only have weeks left now in the semester. You will see your final assignment. The last ones are due on the 18th. And so the 18th of April. And so we will be closing out the semester a little earlier than when graduation is. We will not, I should say it this way, I will not be able to take assignments after the semester is over unless there is a documented reason that you do not have your assignments complete. Our administration has been trying to reduce the number of incompletes for courses. And so should you have a valid reason that you need to have some time to finish up after the semester, you need to be letting me know so that we can petition our dean and get the proper documentation and so forth in place to him in ample time before the end of the semester to give you some time to do some catching up. But that is being tightened up. So I encourage you to be thinking ahead and working ahead. And if you do have some assignments that are falling behind, please do take the time to carve that time out, make that a priority so that you can get caught up, so that we can finish the semester strong. Everybody has just had wonderful discussion, great assignments. I'm really so thankful that people have stayed healthy and have been doing well as much as they could during this time. It always seems, life events happen and we have things that can slow us down, but we persevere and continue on and do the best that we can. And you guys are doing a great job with that. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to give me a shout out. I would encourage you, if you have something that you want to know about between now and like the 21st or so of 22nd, 23rd of March, that you get to me this week. I will be out of the office next week, and I won't have all of my resources to be able to have contact with you as fully as I do beginning next Monday through Friday. So if you need to get a hold of me, go ahead, email me, text me, and I will get back to you just as quickly as I can. But up through Sunday evening, you should be able to get a hold of me this week. So, but the 15th through the 19th, I will not be in the office. So, with that in mind, I will wish you all a great week, and I hope that you have a good day. And I will see you next time. Bye.